Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the worship for the Mayor.
Please be seated. It is now 7:45, and we shall start part 2 of this evening's proceedings, which is the first annual meeting of the Council for the Civic Year 2021-2022 for selection. I am Councillor Honor-Lee Cubitt, Mayor of Basingstoke-Deane, and I shall be chairing this meeting. Welcome back to all councillors, participants and viewers to this council meeting, which will be held in accordance with the Constitution. This meeting is being live streamed on YouTube and will be available to view after the meeting has finished. The points of procedure tonight are as follows. Councillors who wish to speak should raise their hand, and I will invite you to stand. Please remain standing until the roaming boom mic has been brought to you. Please state your name, if not already announced, and speak, keeping your face covering on at all times. Once you have finished speaking, please sit down. If an issue seems to be broadly supported, then I may call for hands to be raised if there is dissent on a subject. If hands are raised, then we will count the dissent, and if no hands are raised, then I will take it that we are agreed. If there is significant dissent and we need to go to a vote, the vote will be taken by roll call. Fiona will take the roll call, and it will be different to normal, as we will call the names in order of the seating in order to enable the roaming mic to work as efficiently as possible. So I will invite Fiona to call the names, therefore, in the order of your seating. So when your name is called, therefore, you say for, against, or abstain, and then you pass the mic on. Can councillors please make sure that their mobiles are switched to silent, along with any other devices that could interfere with this meeting? And we shall now start with the agenda. So item number 1 is apologies for absence. So far as I know, we have apologies for Councillor John Isett, Councillor Colin Phillimore, Councillor Stephanie Grant. Do we have any other apologies? Councillor Rattigan? Councillor McCormick? None. Councillor Harvey? None. And Councillor James? None. Okay, brilliant. Declarations of interest. Are there any interests regarding items on the agenda that members wish to declare? None. Right. The minutes of the meeting held on the 25th of February 2021 and 18th of March 2021. These can be found on pages 7 to 40 of these papers. If everyone is agreed and is happy, I will move that they are a correct record and sign them. Agreed? Okay, I take that the chamber is agreed. Announcements. I just have one small announcement to make, which is that I welcome all of the new councillors. It is a great honour to be elected. Democracy is precious, and to be able to represent your residents is truly an honour. Welcome. So we go to item number 5, which is election of the leader of the council. So this evening we are to elect the leader of the council for a 4-year term. We therefore ask for a proposer for the new leader. Thank you. I believe the proposer is Councillor Tristan Robinson. And do we have a seconder? Yeah, I believe it is Councillor Mark Raffel. Will the chamber make a vote now, please? Agreed? Excellent. So Councillor Ken Rattigan is confirmed as leader for the next 4 years. Many congratulations. We move to the membership of the Cabinet. Councillor Rattigan, please would you like to announce your Cabinet and their responsibilities?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Deputy Leader and Cabinet Member for Communities, Planning and Infrastructure is Councillor Simon Bound. The Cabinet Member for Health, Wellbeing and Leisure is Councillor Rebecca Bean. The Cabinet Member for Recycling, Waste and Regulatory Services is Councillor Hayley Eustace. The Cabinet Member for Economic Development is Councillor Hannah Golding. The Cabinet Member for Finance and Major Projects is Councillor John Isaac. The Cabinet Member for Homes and Housing Regeneration is Councillor Tristan Robinson. And the Cabinet Member for Natural Environment and Climate Improvement is Councillor Mark Raffel.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Right. We now have allocations of seats to political groups. These allocations, as laid out on pages 41 to 48, are in accordance with the Local Government and Housing Act 1989, following the borough elections on the 6th of May 2021. So I seek Council's confirmation on page 41 to approve the committee sizes and proportionality for 2021-2022 as set out in Appendix 1 in order to make the appointments in accordance with Agenda Item 8. Do you approve this recommendation? Excellent, thank you. I now seek Council's confirmation to note in the recommended scheme of proportionality for 2021-2022 the number of seats in all committees other than Development Control and Audit have been reduced by 1 seat. Do you note this recommendation? Brilliant. And finally on this agenda, item 7, do you agree to depart from political proportionality in the allocation of seats to the Standards Committee? Agreed? I think we have unanimity there. Brilliant. So we move on to item number 8, which is the appointment of committees. Having received the allocation of seats, this should hopefully be a relatively straightforward process, but shouldn't really say things like that in advance, should you? The leader of the political groups are simply required to give us the names of the members of the respective committees and the reserves according to the allocations, and the update is attached at Appendix 1. So, okay. Can we agree as per the order paper? Agreed? Excellent. We move now to number 9, the election of committee chairs. To elect chairs of the following committees for the Council year 2021-2022, in accordance with committee procedure rules, we will take each committee in order on the agenda. So, do I have a proposer for, I've got number 1, scrutiny committee first. Okay. Do I have a proposer for scrutiny committee? Propose. Okay, thank you. Do we have a seconder? And the nomination is for Councillor Jones. Do we agree that that's carried? Agreed. Brilliant. For Community, Environment and Partnership Committees, we have a nomination for Councillor Jenny Vokes. Do I have a proposer? Councillor Rattigan, thank you. And do I have a seconder? Councillor Robinson, thank you. Is the chamber agreed? Thank you. For Many Down Overview Committee, I have a nomination for Councillor Diane Taylor. Do I have a proposer? Councillor Rattigan, thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Robinson, agreed? Thank you very much. Development Control Committee, I have a nomination for Councillor Robinson, Nick Robinson. Do I have a proposer? Councillor Rattigan, thank you very much. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Robinson, thank you very much. Are we agreed? Thank you. Licensing Committee, I have a nomination for Councillor David Leeks. Do we have a proposer? Councillor Rattigan, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Robinson, thank you. Are we agreed? Brilliant. Number 7, Human Resources Committee. I have a nomination for Councillor Laura Edwards. Do we have a proposer? Councillor Rattigan. Seconder, Councillor Robinson. Is the Chamber agreed? Agreed. Excellent. Audit and Accounts Committee.
Councillor Frost, Madam Mayor.
Yeah, I see that. I've missed economic planning. Right, sorry about that.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. I was just to point out that you've missed out committee number 2, EPH.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, okay, can we have, so can we have a proposer and a seconder for the nomination of, I believe, is it Councillor Frost? Thank you. Do I have a proposer, Councillor Rattigan, and a seconder, Councillor Tristan? Thank you very much. Apologies, I left that off for some reason. Agreed, Councillor Frost. Did we do Human Resources Committee? I have a nomination for Councillor Laura Edwards. Do we have a proposer? Councillor Rattigan, thank you, and a seconder, Councillor Robinson. Is that agreed? Brilliant. Audit and Accounts. I have a nomination for Councillor Graham Faulkner. Do we have a proposer? Councillor Rattigan. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Tristan. Is the Chamber agreed? Thank you. And for Standards Committee, it requires the chair to be a lay, an independent person, and the nomination is Ms. Murray-Kane. Do we have a proposer? Thank you. Is that Councillor Putty? And a seconder? Councillor Rattigan. Thank you very much. Sorry, it's very difficult to see from the stage as well. I apologise. So are we agreed? Excellent. And finally, Investigating and Disciplinary Committee, I have a nomination for Councillor Hannah Golding. Do we have a proposer? Councillor Rattigan, seconder Councillor Robinson. Are we agreed? So that is all the committees. As on the order paper, vice chairs will be appointed by committees at their first available meeting after the annual meeting of the council. Right, so we now move to the outside bodies. Joint bodies, sorry. Yeah. Right, so we're now going to make appointments to the following. Joint Many-Down Committee. We are required to appoint 4 members. The membership to comprise of cabinet members and members from the following wards: Kempshott and Buckskin, Oakley and the Candovers, Sherburn St John and Rooksdown, Winklebury and Manydown. For your information, the current members are Councillors Isett, Councillors Eachus, Councillor Freeman and Councillor Tristan Robinson. Nominations this year are for Councillors Freeman, Councillors Isett, Councillors Eachus, Councillor Robinson and Councillor Compton-Burnett. So we have 5 nominations for 4 places. So we will need to take a vote by show of hands, and members will have 4 votes maximum, and I will take each nomination in turn. So please can members raise their hands if they support Councillor Freeman to join this committee. Okay, thank you. If you lower them now. Can I please have members show of hands for Councillor Isett? Okay, thank you very much, Fiona. The third nomination is for Councillor Eachus. Can I please have a show of hands for Councillor Eachus? Thank you very much. And fourthly, can I have a show of hands for Councillor Robinson? Yep. And finally, can I have a show of hands for Councillor Compton-Burnett? Are we agreed?
I'm just checking.
Okay, thank you very much. Fiona, do you want to, are you going to read the numbers or shall I?
I'll pass them to you.
You'll pass them to me. Okay, thank you.
I've got to change.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I confirm that there were that the following votes were cast: Councillor Freeman 18, Councillor Isaac 31, Councillor Eachus 31, Councillor Tristan Robinson 31, Councillor Compton-Burnett 31. So I confirm that the 4 members to be appointed to the Joint Many-Down Committee will be Councillors Isaac, Eachus, Tristan Robinson and Compton-Burnett. Thank you. We move to the Crime and Disorder Joint Scrutiny Committee. To appoint 3 members to a joint scrutiny committee, which comprises Hart, Rushmore and Basingstoke-Dean. The membership is to consist of 2 Conservatives and 1 Labour councillor to provide balance across the 3 authorities. For information, the only remaining current member is Councillor Miller. Nominations have been received for 2 Conservative councillors in accordance with the requirement and 1 Labour councillor in accordance with the requirement, and they are as follows: Councillor Howard Sorrell, Councillors Miller and Councillors Edwards. Is the Chamber in agreement with those nominations? Excellent, thank you. We move to the Hampshire Police and Crime Panel. To appoint the main representative and a deputy to the panel. For information, the current main representative is Councillor Bound. Nominations have been received for Councillor Simon Bound. Is the Chamber agreed that Councillor Bound will be the appointee? Excellent. Are there any nominations for a deputy? I understand there's a deputy vacancy as well. None? So we'll leave that as a vacancy. Finally, in the joint bodies, we have Patrol, which stands for Parking and Traffic Regulations Outside London, Adjudications Joint Committee. And that we have to appoint 1 member tonight. For your information, the current member is Councillor Edwards, and the nomination received is for Councillor Laura Edwards. Is the Chamber agreed? Agreed. I think we assume that's the end of that section of the agenda. We move to the appointments to outside bodies. To make appointments to outside bodies, as in previous years, it is hoped that a largely agreed list of appointments will be available to the council, which we have, and with votes only required where agreement has not been reached. These are on pages 49 to 52 in Appendix 2. Nominations are set out as per the order paper, but there are still some vacancies. I would like to know from the leaders of the parties whether there are any further nominations that have taken place since these papers have been published. Councillor Rattigan, would you like to add some?
Yes, Madam Mayor. For Aldworth Educational Trust, Councillor Kocher would like to put herself forward. Thank you.
Councillor Katecha, thank you. Are there any other nominations? Yes, thank you. Councillor McCormick, would you like to have the mic?
Yes, for the music festival, Councillors Freeman and myself would like to go back on.
Music Festival.
That's listed as 3 vacancies in the update paper, but we'd like to remain on.
I'm having a blank moment and I can't see the music festival. Is it on a separate piece of paper? Oh, here. Okay. I'm being blind. Right, excellent. And there's no other there's no other member that wants to take the 3rd vacancy. And do you have another ones that you'd like to remain on?
No, that's all, thank you.
Okay, no, I've sorted. Thank you. And any others from any other of the leaders of the parties? Councillor Harvey and Councillor James? Okay, right. So, what we're then going to do, is everybody therefore agreed to all the nominations that are on the papers that are not highlighted in yellow? Excellent. So we move on to those highlighted, and the first of those highlighted is the Basingstoke Citizens Advice Bureau. And we have current representatives in Councillor Mackay, Councillor Leek, and a vacancy. We now have 4 nominations, and there are 3 to be appointed. And the 4 nominations are Councillor Mackay, Councillor David Leeks, Councillor Vokes, and Councillor Woolridge. So, what I would like to do is to take each of those nominees in order like we just did with the previous agenda item. So, if the Chamber could please put their hand up, and again the same issue applies, you can only vote 3 times. If the Chamber could put their hand up if they wish to support Councillor Mackay. Thank you. And now, if you put your hands down, if we can now have support for votes for Councillor David Leeks, please. Thank you. And can we now please have members showing of hands for Councillor Vokes, please?
I just check with my colleagues that they've got that one. Julia, have you got that one? Yeah, thank you.
And then finally, can the members please show their hands for Councillor Woolridge, please? Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much, members. Thank you for being so understanding in a different venue. We have to use different systems. Thank you very much. Thank you, Fiona. So the votes for the Basingstoke Citizens Advice Bureau is as follows. Councillor Mackay, 18. Councillor Leeks, 31. Councillor Vokes, 36. And Councillor Woolridge, 44. So the three members that will be on that outside body will be Councillor Leeks, Councillor Vokes, and Councillor Woolridge. Thank you. Right, moving on to the next highlighted vacancy, we will now be discussing Everest Community Academy Management Group. The current representative is Councillor Paul Miller, and there was a vacancy. This is for 1 year, and we now have three nominations, one for Councillor Jay Ganesh, one for Councillor Paul Miller, and one for Councillor Donoghue. So if we could, again, this is two, so you're only allowed to vote twice. If we could start with Councillor Jay Ganesh, if members could please indicate with their hands whether they support Councillor Jay Ganesh as one of the nominees. Thank you. Right, if we could have a show of hands now, please, for Councillor Paul Miller. Thank you. And finally, can we have a show of hands for Councillor Donoghue, please?
Thank you.
Thank you. You can put your hands down now, I think. Thank you. So I have the results for Everest Community Academy Management Group. The following two councillors will be the nominated representatives for this year. Councillor Jay Ganesh with 37 votes and Councillor Paul Miller with 30 votes. Thank you very much, members. Moving swiftly on to Integra North Energy Waste Plant Liaison Panel. There was a vacancy this year, and this year we have two nominations. We have a nomination for Councillor Tomlin, and we have a nomination for Councillor Gaskell, and it is for 1 year. So, one vote only. If those members supporting Councillor Tomlin could put their hand up, please. Thank you. And finally, can we have members showing their support for Councillor Gaskell, please? Done?
Sorry.
Sorry, thank you. Sorry. Just trying to make your arm muscles stronger.
Very sorry.
Better than going to the gym. Maybe, maybe not. Thank you, Chief Executive. So the results are that Councillor Tomlin got 20 votes and Councillor Gaskell got 30 votes. So Councillor Gaskell is now nominated representative of the Integra North Energy Waste Plant Liaison Panel. Right, Vivid, previously known as Sentinel. In the last year, Councillor Frost and Councillor Vokes were on the board, but there was, I think there was one vacancy. No, there wasn't. Councillor Vokes was a deputy. There are 2 places this year. It is for 1 year, and we have 3 nominations. We have only 2 votes again, and I'll start straight away with Councillor Laura James. Sorry, yes.
Explain it, but it's one position is a main position and the other is a deputy, so you might have to take it separately.
Okay, apologies. Thank you very much for that clarification. Right, okay. So do I assume that all 3 have nominated themselves or been nominated to be both lead and deputy? Or do I have any who nominated to be deputy only? No, both. Okay. So we will first start with the lead position. So you're only allowed 1 vote per lead. So there's only 1 vote for the first round and 1 vote for the second. Yeah. So Councillor Laura James for the lead position at Vivid. Can you show your hands, please?
Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Frost for the lead. Can you show your hands, please? And Councillor Donoghue for the lead position. Members, can you show your hands?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Executive. So for the lead position at Vivid, Councillor James got 10 votes, Councillor Frost got 31, and Councillor Donoghue 9. So Councillor Frost will be the lead member of that committee, outside body. We will now take votes for the deputy. In the same vein, with 1 vote only for each name. Councillor Laura James. Can the members please indicate who will support Councillor James for deputy? Thank you. Thank you. Can the members please indicate their support for Councillor Frost? Oh, no, we don't need him anymore, sorry. I'm not on it, am I? No. Can we please have a vote now for Councillor Donohoe, please? Schoolboy error.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. So the results of that vote are Councillor James 13 and Councillor Donohoe 34. So the deputy for Vivid will be Councillor Donohoe. Testbourne Community Centre Management Committee is the next highlighted one, currently vacant, one position, 1 year, and I have 2 nominations. First one, Councillor Follett-Maitland, or Follett-Maitland, sorry. Can the members show their hands, please? Okay, thank you very much. And Councillor Carr. Anybody, members supporting Councillor Carr? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Rest those weary arms. Thank you very much, Chief Executive. So the results for the Testbourne Community Centre Management Committee is that Councillor Follett-Maitland has 17 votes and Councillor Carr has 30. So Councillor Carr will be the representative for the council on that outside body. Right, we now come to the penultimate vote on the outside bodies, which is the Tourism South East. Currently, Councillor Leeks is the representative. It is for 1 year. There is only one position. And we have 2 nominations, one for Councillor Follett-Maitland and one for Councillor Leeks. So if we could take votes from members on the first nominee, Councillor Follett-Maitland first, please. Can you show hands?
Thank you.
Thank you, members. And Councillor Leeks as the second nominated. Councillor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Fiona. Right, the votes cast for the Tourism South East position is Councillor Follett-Maitland 18, Councillor Leeks 31. So the position will be for Councillor Leeks to be our representative there. Thank you. And the final one on the outside bodies is the Whitchurch Silk Mill Trust. It's been vacant this year. This position is for 2 years, not 1. And there is only 1 vacancy available, and there are 2 nominations, 1 for Councillor Follett-Maitland and 1 for Councillor Carr. So we could take it in order. If the members could vote for Councillor Follett-Maitland first, please. Show of your hands.
Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, Councillor Carr. Done?
Yep.
Thank you. You can
you.
put your hands down. Thank you. Thank you, Fiona. And the team up there in the royal box. Bernie and Julia, you're doing a fabulous job. The final votes for that are Councillor Follett-Maitland 19 and Councillor Carr 30. Thank you very much. So Councillor Carr will represent Whitchurch Silk Mill, which is a wonderful, wonderful, one of our historical venues in the borough, of many. And I love it very much. Right, we move on to, oh, sorry, Councillor Putty. Oh, hang on a second, we'll get a mic to you if you wait, if possible. No, of course. Please wait a second. Not at all.
Councillor Dan Putty. Just on page 13 of this paper, at the bottom, I'd like to point out the correction that I cannot represent the council on that body because I'm already representing the magistrate on that particular body.
So can I just clarify, Councillor Putty, you're talking about Basingstoke ITEC?
Yes.
Okay. So, I don't know. Is there another nomination that any of the parties wish to nominate in his place?
I'd welcome a nomination.
Councillor Robinson, would you like to nominate somebody?
Can I nominate Councillor Hannah Golding?
Of course you can. There's no, so there's 2 vacancies. There's not an excess. So if the Chamber's agreed, Councillor Hannah Golding can be the second nominee. Sorry about that, Councillor Putty. Thank you for the clarification. Brilliant. So that concludes the appointment to outside bodies. We move on to the adoption of the Berkeley Parish Neighbourhood Plan. Following a positive referendum held on the 6th of May, Council is recommended to formally make the Berkeley Parish Neighbourhood Plan with immediate effect. Do I have a proposer and do I have a seconder? Does anybody want to talk to the plan? Councillor Faulkner, would you like to propose? Yes, please. Okay, brilliant. So Councillor Faulkner will propose, and who will second? Councillor Bound will second. Councillor Faulkner, do you wish to speak to this? Yes,
Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, well, thank you, Madam Mayor. Berkeley is a charming parish in our northwest boundary, very close to Newbury on its north border, and also very close to the Tothill services on the Newbury bypass. So its location is a potential target for developers, but not necessarily to the benefit of our borough. Councillor Isaac, who has the main relationship with the parish council, has always been passionate about the need for a neighbourhood plan such that the community could define and influence how appropriate development should take place. When Richard Carew became chairman of the parish council, he led a concerted effort with a team of 9 principal volunteers to create this neighbourhood plan. So a great community effort has put this plan before the council here for your adoption today. Now, thanks go to Richard and his team, but also to our officers who have been excellent in their guidance and in their liaison with the team. And it was good that 81% of the referendum was positive. Now, to demonstrate the importance of the neighbourhood plan, in December last year, the appeal inspector heard the case against our refusal for 35 dwellings next to the church. The inspector upheld our refusal and stated that a key element was that the application was in conflict with the emerging neighbourhood plan. So a perfect example of how important is a neighbourhood plan to our parishes. So, Madam Mayor, I commend Berkeley's neighbourhood plan to you and to the Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Faulkner. May I take this opportunity on behalf of the Council to congratulate all in the Berkeley Community and Neighbourhood Planning Group on all their hard work in developing this plan as well. I know how time-consuming they are, and it's a heck of a commitment. Thank you. So we move to the final agenda item, which is exclusion of press and... Oh, sorry, I apologise. Sorry. Would the seconder like to contribute? Sorry, I do apologise. Thank you, Chief Executive.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A neighbourhood plan provides the local community with an opportunity to develop a vision for their future, including sharing their view on heritage and landscape, the allocation of land for new homes, protecting and enhancing the environment, supporting the local economy, and ensuring the appropriate provision is made for transport. The Berkeley Neighbourhood Planning Group and the Parish Council need to be congratulated for creating a plan that does all of these things, and also for gaining the support of over 80% of the residents who participated in the vote. As a borough, we already have 10 neighbourhood plans. This will be our 11th when it's made, and we still have another 7 in progress. As a council, we want to work with government to reform and strengthen our planning system, as was laid out in the Queen's speech. But we must ensure it is locally led. We must ensure that communities are able to shape their local areas. We must ensure that they are able to have their say on new development and to ensure they are supported by the right infrastructure. With this in mind, I support the making of the Berkeley Neighbourhood Plan and also, Madam Mayor, congratulate you on an excellently chaired first meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Band. Warmly received, thank you. Exclusion of... Sorry? Oh, sorry. Okay. So, having hopefully had some... Yes, I need to ask you whether the Chamber agrees to the making of the plan. Sorry, thank you very much. Thank you, Chief Executive. Hopefully we'll have less errors like this in future. Right. Finally, the exclusion of press and public. We have no reason to exclude the press and public as we have no confidential or exempt items for information. That, fellow members, concludes the business for this evening. I declare this meeting of the Council is over. May I thank you all for being so brilliant and kind for my first meeting and for my errors. And thank you to our officers, and thank you to all the staff from the Haymarket for being so welcoming. May I wish you all a safe journey home, and good night, and God bless. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the worship